Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. So, in the last one, we did side quests. We did 4 of them, and there are 4 more side quests and a hunt, an S rank, to be specific, that we need to take care of. Almost positive I know where they're at. Also, I am just shy of being able to afford what I want, but I don't want to remove any points right now, so as soon as I possibly can, I'm going to upgrade this so that I can increase the number of ice blasts to 2 and hits per blast. I do want to keep this on. It's only 3-star damage, so it's not nearly as good as like wind up or upheaval would be. But it's good for AoE, and I want to have an excuse to use Diamond Dust because I love Shiva. So
we've got a few rooms going.
Let's get out of here. We're going, I don't even know where I'm going first. Whatever quest's here, we're doing it. And I may save the S rank for last, but I don't know. Part of me really wants to fight it. It'll force my hand into like changing my playstyle if it kills me.
That! Stop it, Renz! It's dangerous!
Alright, just in case the episode gets messed up, I'm going to save quick. Man, I really don't like this new chair. It's just too far back and you can't lean it forward. Oh.
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure? I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together. Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats.
That's good.
And firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them.
Okay.
Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders.
Nice.
Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon. May there indeed. I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be, until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do.
Okay.
Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
As long as you don't need me to act.
How could I refuse? Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you. I'll go and speak with him.
Clive seems very
What's the difference between a lord and a man?
hardened right now.
That's easy. One of them swings a sword, the other forges them.
That's not the difference between a lord and a mayor.
A League of Outlaws.
They do need that
Sounds like
school.
we have some competition. Still in Dalimil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another.
It's
A
fair.
sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's
Biggest
one
one.
upriver, just out there across the dunes.
Leave it with me.
Gotcha. Oh,
The camp is in the desert to the north of here. You know what to do.
all right. Let's do it. Oh,
Ready, girl?
way out there. Oh god, that palm tree. From a distance before it like totally loaded in. I mean, it was already loaded in, but it looked like a giant
That must
turtle
be the
or
camp Victor
something.
mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
Hi,
That's him.
unleashed hound.
The one who killed Locke and Fingers. Take his head off.
Oh, you got what? Level 30? Why are you so low level? They don't stay frozen long enough. That's my one gripe with Diamond Dust. Oh, hell no. You know what? Just for that. You know, I'm not gonna make it. Yeah. Whoops, I think I canceled a second judgmental. God damn it. Has anyone attacked yet? Oh, there he goes.
It's over!
They got one sword strike between all those people and a heal. They got a heal off.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you?
But-
I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but that's not why you're here, is it?
No. Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalimil. Some
Okay.
of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years, which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One
But
who
has
made a
he?
leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
All right. He's not a branded though. Branded are branded. They are physically branded. He was just a kid who was abandoned and not found out to be a bearer. Right? He didn't lie to
Now
anyone.
everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running.
But we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
Oh my god.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them.
I
We need to do
suppose
something. And quickly.
so.
Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can.
They also know that I'm not Lord Underhill.
Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try. And that is all I can ask of you.
I don't know how you're going to be able to convince these people that their beliefs are wrong this easily.
Thank you,
I don't
Clive.
know.
I'm sure you have better things to do with your time.
No, I just have 3 other quests.
I don't care if Lubor's a bearer. He's still Lubor, isn't he?
Yeah. Unfortunately, adults didn't think that when they were kids, and they've had to live with it so long that it might be impossible changing their
The man
mind.
with the sword was going to kill us, but then Lubor shot magic at him. It was amazing.
Why are you taking the bearer's side, Victor? Are you one too?
You know,
Who the hell is this guy? Just kick him out of town. You don't need him. Get rid of him and him. That wouldn't solve the problem.
Such a fuss outside.
He knew all along that he was...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
Oh boy.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
If only they knew that a bearer's the one who saved their asses multiple times here.
I assume the situation is hopeless? There's still hope. But... But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor,
Rosina would often tell me, that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making.
Ooh.
But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against.
What?
For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us.
We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones, it is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves?
What do you want him to
better
do?
than this, but it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
Honestly, like, I don't know what he could do.
You're making the right choice, Lubor.
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here, your reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then, I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
Please tell me I gotta... Okay. This is continuing later. 100%. I was gonna say, this didn't feel like a good resolution. This seems like a starter quest. Yeah, I honestly don't know what he could do. Doesn't make any sense when you think about, like, how much these people are... It's the world. It's the way that this world works. I can't...
If you're going to try and convince me to stay, save your breath. I will not put those children at risk.
I hear ya.
I'm going to go with him.
I mean, they could come to the hideout.
To Lubor. He didn't do anything wrong.
So the next quest, I feel like these kids are gonna knock some sense into the adults. I don't know how, but between them and Victor, something's gonna happen to knock some sense into the adults. All right, we have Bucklod and Tabor left. Wait, don't we have a fourth one? Oh yeah, Isabel. But we will do this one first. This is the Undying guy. Cyril, that's his name. Wait, is he down below? Oh. I'm intrigued by that quest, though. Honestly, I want to know what's going to go on with that. Not as much as I wanted to know about Quentin, but I'm still curious.
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my lord. Prithee enter.
Okay. It's so dark in here. You should just put a few extra torches on.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this
Fortunal. I forgot it's him.
My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Little and less, I regret to report.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is known. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
Oh my god.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix Gate.
The door.
Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, my lord, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
Are we finally going to get to learn about Ultima and the Undying from... Or not the Undying. The Fallen from them?
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified, I am sure. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village after but a short walk.
Thank you. I will.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart.
Cheers. All right. Definitely excited for this one. I don't care what you teach me as long as it's something new about the history of Ultima or the Fallen.
My colleagues await you in Kretov, my lord. But say the word, and they will be only too glad to share their findings.
Unless they're all dead.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another lost wing. I hope the inhabitants are just as friendly.
Maybe. What's up with this being blocked off? Like, I can go in this way, but not the other way? Huh. Alright, I've been waiting to go this way for quite a while. Oh my god, there's so many! Why are there undead coming out? Alright, I think this is it. Yeah. Thank you. I haven't been this way, so I'm getting off. We fought a bunch of you, and you're level 33, so I'm gonna skip you. Oh, that's just where I put my marker. Let's see. Oh. Excuse me. It just goes back. It is another lost wing. How big is this? Oh. Wait. The village is past the airship? Hold on, I gotta check from here. Honestly, maybe I should just call Ambrosia. Just seems like more desert. Goblin muggers. Okay, I'll kill you. You guys mug people. You deserve this. Why did I take the time to kill those muggers? Oh. Have we fought one of you? Hail Gigas?
This won't be easy.
I think we have. It's not like there's a bestiary that's checking if you killed every enemy. I kind of wish there was, though. Nice. Hi, what's going on over here? A fallen guardian and some defense nodes? You've seen me fight quite a bit of these. Let's just, alright. I did see a chest over here. You know, one of the FF13 chests. Ring of the Demolitionist. Okay. I have no guesses. Magic Burst will damage by 15%. Oh, it's a direct upgrade of Marksman. No. Oh, Magic Burst will damage. Wow, okay. I have yet to encounter a problem a well-timed explosion can't solve. Second Legion Imperial Sapper, Guy the Fox. Wait, Guy? Oh my god. And Locke? Guy is from FF2. I don't know why his name's Guy, but it's Guy. Right? Is it Guy or Gus? I think it's Guy. Oh, does anyone else have random names in here? They don't. I feel like that's a reference, unless I'm getting the name wrong. I don't know. Alright, I just wanted to double check his name. Turns out it is Guy, but he's also called Gus. My memory was remembering both of those back to back. I haven't played FF2 in a long time. I do have the Pixel remaster, and I might play it for the channel at some point, but not now. Stop it! Stop it! I'm just trying to pick this up. What is the purpose of being able to kick? Okay, we got another dinghy.
Straight home now.
Okay. Fallen lore, please. Oh, never mind. I don't think it's going well here.
Oh no. You'll pay for this.
You guys did this?
There may still be survivors.
I hope so. A little left there. Yep. Get you in there.
Enough.
We'll see if there's reinforcements. I'll save Diamond Dust for that. Wait, can I? How do I freeze Fallen? I thought nothing could do anything to the material. Don't question it. No reinforcements? I'm sure I can look around the village after, but it doesn't seem like much is going on here. I just thought of something. Wouldn't Omega be like... Oh my god, Omega's gonna be like... If Omega's in this, he's gonna be like a big Echo.
Whatever that thing is, I'd say it's their leader.
Now, let's get this out of the way. Fool's Gold. Alright, Impulse. Oh, not this move.
Too slow.
I hate this move.
Nice try.
Oh.
Get him.
Oh, I was late. Sorry, Torgal. New enemies. And who is this new enemy? Oh, hi. I need to upgrade that. I need to see what it's like upgraded. Torgal mid backflip. Okay.
Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Oh, good.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins, a duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see.
That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
He is not happy. I don't blame him.
To lay down your life for another. But for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Some things we'll never understand,
Think no
Clive.
more of us, my lord. Only deliver our findings to the bearer of the burning quill.
Will do. After I steal that. And check this little corner here that I think I skipped.
Let us continue then. There is a second hull further in.
Further in where? I don't see an inn. I wonder if we're done here. Kind of seems like it. Not much going on in this village. Anything up here? Yeah. Sharp fangs. Oh no. Let me just 1800. I don't think we have enough yet. That's it. That's the whole village. And the door's unlocked. We have officially looked at all of this place. Which is funny, because I thought I'd get an achievement for fully exploring everywhere. But it seems like we got more areas then. Because, like, when I was looking through, there was an achievement that had a progress bar. And it said, like, 15 of 70 areas explored or something like that. I don't know. And I need to remove that. I don't think it's anywhere... I don't think it's close enough to be filled yet. We're definitely going somewhere in Ash. Please.
Ah, you are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take them.
Oh, I didn't read it.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come.
Yeah.
Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please.
Okay.
For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Joshua Rossfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. is my hope that we may continue to do our duty together.
I don't think he quite bought it. What Clive was throwing at him. Maybe a little bit, but Ice Age. Reduce cooldown by 1.5 seconds. I haven't used Ice Age yet, have I? What's the one that has the timer on it? No, not timer, but whatever you call, yeah, this one. That thing. The red thing. So that increases the potency. It's probably the strongest Shiva move, if I'd have to guess. Considering it has 3 stars, and holding and timing it right. Oh, only adds to the width and knockback. But it says hold button to increase potency. I guess in general, if you're holding the button, it doesn't matter where it lands. It's going to have increased potency. Hitting the red just widens it and makes the knockback force stronger, I would assume, and adds a freezing effect, as it says there. So in general, it's 3 stars if you don't hold the button, but if you hold it for any amount of time, it's probably 3.5, maybe 4. But Diamond Dust is already 3 and huge, but really long cooldown. I don't know. I'm gonna switch over to Ice Age at some point during the next quest here and test it out. Got Isabel left. Eloise and Isabel. Oh, he's like literally right here. I don't know why I keep confusing her with Isabel.
Clive, you'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
Okay.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
How quick?
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
Oh. Anyone else sit on their foot as like a comfort thing, and then it falls asleep and you have to switch legs every 2 seconds? I'm assuming that's not just me, but it can't be a common practice.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it, all right?
Fishmonger,
Something wrong.
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
Oh my
You had no opportunity to make a counteroffer.
None at all. And we were so close.
El? What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
Double, though? With no counteroffer? That's... something's going on.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard?
How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting.
You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it?
But...
Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended.
Okay.
You go to Randala and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best.
I mean, he asks if that's what she wants, but they sound like assholes.
Randala, then.
Honestly?
Better not keep Eloise waiting.
Are you gonna actually... I doubt we can actually go in, but are we gonna have a cutscene where Clive goes in? Because we haven't been to Randala. We've only seen one scene with the gaggle of, well, now dead men fighting.
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is
that one time. All right. All right, on the off chance I get to fight an enemy here. Oh no, did you put me in battle? I can't. All right, music, stop. Stop. Guys, go reset. What if I pull you out here? There, that reset them. Now that that's a thing. Oh, god damn it, I wanted to upgrade this though. Well, I'm gonna try this out and reset it, probably. We'll see. Ice Age. Oh! Damn. Oh, that looks good.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the Consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind.
Oh.
The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
What? I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
What?
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
Interesting. I don't know if I believe him there. Treated like kings, huh?
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randala.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated.
Hopefully.
Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head.
A dragon?
Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just... make sure he's safe.
I mean... a dragon?
Hold on, Theo.
I feel like the music should have kept going.
I'm coming.
Oh! I'm coming. Okay. Oh, that's right next to where I think the S rank is, so... maybe we'll do the S rank after that. He's fine, I'm sure. Damn goblin muggers. Can I jump down this? I don't remember. Oh!
No need to ride from here.
What is this song? Have we heard this?
Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded with ether.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me.
Woof? Okay.
There's an ether flood up ahead. I know Theo's a bearer, but even he can't stay in there forever.
Theodore led the dragon upriver.
So it's an Akashic dragon? And...
no use calling that Rosia now.
Okay. That is not where the hunt is. Okay. I don't see this dragon. I don't see Theodore either.
Damn it.
Uh-oh.
The ether's too thick. These creatures have already turned. Get him!
Oh! Oh! Ow! God! Wow, you guys kind of are all lined up. So. That one? Yeah. Ice Age is a pretty great move. Look at that cooldown. It's almost back.
I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me.
Hi.
This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
Nah, it's fine. Oh my god. You can freeze the dragon?
Too slow.
You can freeze the dragon. Interesting. Alright, give me a swing.
Over here.
Right on his arm. Oh, I don't know the precision sick for Ice Age yet, but we'll get there. Oh! That's fine.
Over here.
I should Impulse and Mega Flare, honestly.
Too slow.
Nice. Alright, give me one thing. Come on. I screwed up. This is still gonna do some decent damage, honestly. Golden Bolt. Ice Age.
This one.
And Impulse? What? Why am I able to do 120k to you?
Nice try.
Oh, I tried to time it.
Too slow. Pressure already.
Alright, we'll use a potion.
Get him.
Get him, Torgo. I think a Benga Flare killed him, but awesome. Kinda don't know where that Chimera is gonna be though. That's concerning.
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for...
Oh no, is he turning?
We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that.
Oh.
Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave.
You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore!
He's gone. Oh man. I even said he had B-team protagonist energy.
Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you! Elle. Theodore. Take care of my sister. Theodore, wait. Goodbye, Elle.
Oh, don't.
No! Theo! Theo!
Well. Wasn't he a bearer? Am I thinking of the wrong person? I thought it was really hard for them to turn. Or maybe it's just dominance that it's really hard for. This is not how I was expecting this side quest to go,
Thank you,
honestly.
Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone.
I just want to double check. Does the lore... it's still focused on main story.
Because I sent him to that place. Against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
It's a bearer.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to...
It's still crazy that that's Lisa's voice actress. At least I think it is. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. Sounds so much like Lise.
I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's, wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen, the life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can. Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Wow. I'd say this might be tied for best quest now, honestly. Overall, storytelling-wise and like presentation-wise, I think this one wins. But I like the blacksmith's quest line quite a bit. I also really like Quentin's, but it's like a three-way tie. There's no way I could ever Scarlet Cyclone? I haven't used you since the beginning of the game. I don't know why. Okay. The emblem of the caravan, or Crimson Caravans. Porters of wide renown. They are based in Baklad, where traders from across Valisthea flock to browse the 1,000 tables and transport their wares either throughout the Dominion or on down the Crystal Road to the lands beyond. Got their signboard. That's the end of their quest line because I got their signboard, basically. That's why Lubor is still... Well, Lubor has just started.
The
What
Crimson
a quest,
Caravans is my family business now, and I would not exchange it for the world. I brought Theo here to be safe, and I have never looked back since.
Like, for that to be a side quest, you could even tell when they like switched the cutscene style to high quality. You know, the angles, everything, the presentation just completely changed once things actually became serious. There's no way they would have told that all half-assed with, you know, the still image with just moving mouths that they do sometimes. They actually put the extra time into it. I never looked at this. Just prices for wagons. Okay. Oh boy. But yeah, that was a very good job. Very interesting. And Rip Theodore, who I thought had like backup protagonist energy. Like I thought if Clive wasn't in this world, that'd probably be the character we're playing. Just based off of anime look that he had, his like caring attitude, all that stuff. I liked Theodore. All right. There is, you know what? I have to do Isabel's quest before we, because I know for a fact that'll be long. Oh yeah. That'll be longer than the S rank. So we're doing this no matter what. The S rank might have to wait unless this is like a 3-minute quest. But based on everything else, these side quests, how do people say this game just has basic ass side quests?
The Dominion's all but done for.
Do those people not remember any of the other games? Are you just remembering like all the good things and not the bad things? Because I'll tell you right now.
And you're just gonna fall into line.
Final Fantasy, even 9, my favorite game of all time, had some pretty bad side quests.
I don't trust
It had some pretty slow moments too. Every game does. And it's a little too much. Like even if you're in a bad place now and you were happy as a kid, or like games made you feel better as a kid because things were rough, like that sometimes that overtakes, you know, games still being good now. At least this game. I like this game. This honestly is fighting for #1 Final Fantasy for me. It really is. I can't deny it.
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
Oh.
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist.
Right.
Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrek. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrek.
How is he still
a man
powerful?
Whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
Who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man.
Or using a sword.
Will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
Yeah?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
Why don't we just kill him?
The fact that the soldiers trust you may well carry some weight with the Duke. He needs their support after all. I only hope that you can make him see sense before he tears the town apart.
I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony.
What?
Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
It's not only control of the garrison.
The Remembrance Ceremony. That's the one that happened 20 years ago that Dion and Phoenix, Dion and Joshua were talking about the last time they saw each other. I don't remember them talking about Remembrance Ceremony other than that.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
It's that
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
Just throw a fireball at him from here.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles.
Yeah, this is
her
Arianda's
defenses are
voice.
sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I can't hear your normal voice
underestimate
anymore.
how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
the people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary, so that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes,
Sabine?
And I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later.
Daughter? Wife? I don't know.
The citizens revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose.
Sure. I was only half paying attention.
On the other side of the wall.
Because all I could hear was Urianger / Susano.
You are embarrassing me.
Every time he rolled his
You're
R's.
embarrassing yourself.
That's his daughter, then. Probably. Every time he rolled his R's, I thought of Susano saying rejoice, and obviously Urianger. He does a lot of voices in 14, but most of them are, yeah, you can't even tell it's him. Like,
do you think he was the only one who survived?
It's the same tone and everything, but it sounds like an entirely different person. I don't know why. So far, I've only heard what I think is Kaishir, Lise, and Urianger voice actors. I'm sure there are plenty, but I can't pick them out nearly as easily as them.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him.
Oh, unfortunate.
Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
That's so
Well, we know how he feels about it.
Half of what comes in is barely fit for press.
Oh my god. Why can't you separate the stall? There should be at least one more spacing here.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
That's fair.
Welcome, welcome.
They literally came in from the Dominion, took the Dominion, and then the Dominion got destroyed. They're like, all right, I guess I'll go back and take back
An excellent choice.
Oriflamme. Well, not even take back. I don't know if they ever lost
I do
it.
like a customer who knows what he wants.
You know what?
You're
I'm
the
sick of looking
key
at
guy.
1 out of 2. We have 2 elixirs now. I'm never going to use
Come
them.
back again.
Even in that 1 S rank, I refuse to use an elixir. I almost did. Wait, no, did I? I might have. Maybe that's why I have 1 out of 2. I don't know. It's been a while. I don't remember. Never using one again,
If
though.
you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started.
Good news,
Build
then.
a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
Oh, and the soldiers. I secretly hoped he would say in for Garuda Awakening. Just because it's Koji. That's not a soldier.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
It's kind of got the intonation of Kokol. Even though it's a much less gravelly voice than they give him as a Lalafell. But he kind of reminds me of him. Great, this is all the Duke's fault. Why did he have to have Ariande's voice? Now that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to pick out everyone's voices and half listening.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Okay. Will you? You guys need to change before I'm okay with that. Oh, I can't jump that. I hope that Dion takes over and is leader of a good people. And get rid of all these damn dukes.
You're
He's
the
cynical.
one who's talking to His Eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round.
That's
Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children.
So if he told you to kill them?
If the Duke can get us cement and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
Deal. That place still looks great, even without the crystal. Like,
welcome back.
The sky isn't helping, but
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right. I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
that's all you needed? To know what the Dame felt? I thought she already talked to him about it.
Seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
I don't know what he's gonna do, but it's probably not gonna kill him. He's probably gonna disobey his orders and get all the other soldiers to do it, and then force them to leave town, crying and penniless. Urianger.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but
And so many more people.
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much.
Not
Had I
Philippe,
sworn to
though.
protect Sambrek, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
Are you allowed to do that?
Why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady.
Part 2?
Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, this is definitely going to have a part 2. Just like Lubor.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
Alright, I'm a little surprised we didn't have any battling in this one. This was interesting enough. I think I just made it more interesting in my head. Honestly. Than it actually was. But I am kind of curious what's going to happen now that he quit and just the way they left it.
Despite my repeated advances, His Eminence has proven a difficult conquest. Fortunately, I am nothing if not persistent. But, be that as it may, I might yet need you to press the point.
Yeah, so we know of 2 quests that are for sure going to continue. Not at the end of the game yet. Going to Ash isn't the end, because well, unless we go talk to Vivian for the main story, and then suddenly these are all open. Oh my god, I'm going to be so upset. Well, not really. I'd be okay with that. But I definitely want to be able to do main story after this episode. And I said I was going to do everything, and that means everything. I'm going to go look at the hunt board again and figure out where this thing is. We're going overtime, apparently. All right, Hector, where is it? Caravanners, Velcroy, Colossal Beast. Phantasm brought by the desert heat. Wow. This one actually doesn't tell you at all. Okay, so I need to think of places I haven't been to, but you're updated, so let's...
Clive!
Not goat. Actually.
Anything catch your eye?
Haha!
Seen enough?
Welcome to the
You.
Patron's Whisper.
We still have 2 more? That's the end. Oh, it doesn't say it'll be expanded after. Oh, that is actually the end. That's a sad thought. We are the shadows that quicken in the Firebird's wake, and from the shadows to serve our Lord and those who would be his wings, the Undying. Thanks.
You earned this.
Thanks, guys. Ring of the
Best of luck
Swiftsoft.
out there, Sid.
The other ones had references to other Final Fantasies. Who's this going to be? Please be Zidane. Rasset the Older? A moment's hesitation can lead to an eternity in the grave. That doesn't seem like one I'd recognize. Huh. So I went to go look up to see if like that name was familiar from anything, and it's not showing up anywhere except for I did see a title that mentioned FF16, and I was like, nah, I don't want to know. Like, I can look up all that stuff at the end, but I'm kind of surprised. The other 2 were clearly Guy the Fox, Lock of the Full Quiver, Rasset. Huh. I guess that one's not a reference. Maybe it is. If it is, let me know. I'm curious to know. Either way. Oh, I saw missives and stuff were updated. Oh boy. Either way, they said the Valkyrie, right? Which means it's nowhere over here. It's nowhere. I don't know why I thought it was here, because Valkyrie is right here. We fought a hunt here before. And this, we've never seen anything. Neither over here. But there's a good chance this is the hunt. This is a good S-rank spot, in my opinion. Oh, I kind of want to do that. No. We'll save trials. When we get to the end of the game, I'm going to go through and do all the trials. All right, I got a pretty average feeling about this. Nope, not you. Pretty average feeling. I don't know. I'm kind of seeing normal enemies nearby, making me think no Chimera is going to come out of nowhere. Yeah, the average feeling is feeling quite average right now. More so than... Oh, no, that's just a screen going away. Oh, yellow. You're not 2 scoops. Get out of here. Oh. Okay, it's clear to me Chimera was not here. Next destination. I see something over there. That's got to be it. Usually they have a cutscene when they come in, especially if they're S ranks, but there are no enemies around. It's just this. Well, this is a normal Chimera. You've got to be the hunt, though.
Be safe.
You're not going to be hard, right? This is going to take us like a minute. Oh, it's Gorgamera. The worst fate in Final Fantasy XIV. Well, back in the day.
We're not going to outrun this.
45, really? You're lower than the dragon, huh? Okay. So far, normal stuff.
Get him.
Cool. Delta attack. Oh. Oh. That looked awesome.
Get him.
I want to be on Garuda. What? That's gonna hurt. Freeze. All right. So far, this is not so bad. No, he's out of range again. I love how it freezes the fire. Oh, I shouldn't have impulsed. Oh, I wanted to time it. Oh well. All right, sir. All right, sir. I need to dodge something. Oh, come on. I'm gonna taunt him. All right. Okay.
Nice try.
Awesome. All right, he's down. Get everything in here for once. Gigabyte. I should be able to impulse. Wind up. There we go. Okay, 112. Oh, 3 of them. It freezes his mechanic.
Over here.
No.
This one.
Oh god, he's getting fast. Oh god.
Over here.
In? No, get out. Ram's voice. Okay. No! I deserve that. Sorry, I'm kind of shouting here. Right, in, out. Impulse. Honestly,
Farewell.
That was an S rank? Did not feel like an S rank. That felt like an A rank. It had a lot of moves. I loved it. That was amazing. I just kind of wish it had... If you made it level 50, gave it a little more health, that would have been awesome, but...
Should have picked on someone your own size.
Yeah, we kicked your ass, dude. I'm so sorry. I was like, we're going super far over. This will be a 2-hour video. No. Nothing's as difficult as that dragon so far. That was a fun fight, though. Especially fun knowing that I destroyed it so badly. Hold on, I want to go double check what we're missing from that recipe quick. All right, so... Oh, I could ask you about this? I'll do that in a second.
What do you want?
Okay, yeah, so now we have the required orichalcum. Dark Steel. Are we going to fight a red giant? That's probably a hunt at some point. Because... Iron Giants... Wait, no, Dark Steel... What is Dark Steel? What do I remember that from? Primitive Battlehorn seems like... I don't want to, like, spoil myself from this stuff, but... Seems like something you get from a Gigas. Darksteel definitely seems like some sort of Iron Giant or a giant bat or something. I remember like a Darksteel bat in one of the games. I don't know.
That it? Fine.
Either way, we haven't unlocked those hunts. And the only other thing, I heard Yote on my way in. Yote? I can't talk to her. What are you lost in thought about? Oh, she's actually acknowledging that I'm here. As I ran past her, she's like, come back. Who was... Joshua's here. Who are you talking to? There's something else?
Karen says she'll provide what she can for our voyage to Ash. And has even agreed to forgo payment. Until our return, that is.
Typical. It's okay.
Covered in nicks.
We're definitely returning.
I suppose you've got quite the tale to tell. Gotta let you get some nice warm stew in you first, before I go bothering you for the details.
Okay. I figured why not, because I kind of planned for an extra 5 or so minutes, so I kind of just want to take an update on everyone that I can.
You just ask.
Always.
Resources.
We've heard him say that before. Oh yeah, the missives. That's the thing I wanted to check. And we talked to Taria once already. So I'm just gonna do a loop quick, see what we find. Anyone in the bath?
According to this, Barnabas Tharm is called the last king on account of the fact he hasn't aged a day since claiming the throne.
But that was almost 35 years ago.
Interesting. Wow. Although, to be fair, have any of you aged? This is the oldest looking man in the hideout. Right here. Right? Look at him. Oldest Okay. Oldest looking man in the hideout. And it's just because he's got the bald on top and the sides. Other than that, this man still looks like he could probably be 30. That's a huge nose. No one ages. If I had to complain about one thing in this game, it's that no one ages. Especially Annabella. How after 20... I don't know. 13... And yeah, you're not... Well, yeah, 18 years. After 18 years, she looked identical.
Let's do just that. I finally finished the book I was writing. You're welcome to read it. If young Jocelyn hasn't already defiled its pages with his infernal scribblings.
Are you guys actually doing now? We haven't talked to him since the scale thing.
Canva
I'm
lost?
sure fine.
It can't be true.
I'm sorry, but the report was clear. The scouts found no survivors.
None. All right, we made the rounds. I checked down there. There was really nothing there, so.
What do I owe the honor?
Now I'll finally talk to you about this.
The sound of ringing still.
It's filled the streets of Dravozd since back before anyone can remember. And there's not a smith worth his salt who didn't apprentice under one of the village masters. Me and Zoltan worked at old Vulcan's foundry till our lungs burned and our skin turned black. But we were happy.
So we weren't.
Till we weren't. Things change, people change, and we can either change with them or we can stay stuck in the past. Me and my old mate, we've chosen to put our past behind us so that Dravozd can have a future. A future where young smiths can be proud of work done well and done right. Just like here.
Who knows?
Maybe someday my apprentice will be someone's master and work them just as hard as I do him. He hasn't said a word this whole game. How you enjoy working for him? He's not permitted to speak. Oh boy. Alright, well, it's time to see how close we are to the end of Tomes' list and then check the missives and we'll be done. You guys aren't saying anything? Every time I pass them, they talk.
Good morrow to you, my friend. I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them.
Actually, I take it back. Tomes is the oldest guy in the hideout. That's guaranteed.
You wish to study the tomes?
I think he is the only guy who looks appropriately old out of anyone in the game. Updated again? Vessel of limitless power. He identifies Clive as a mythos by virtue of his awakening as a dominant of Ifrit and having the power to absorb the ether of other icons. So could he have awakened as any icon? Like it just happened to be another dominant of fire, but like there could have been two dominants of ice or something. Like Ifrit isn't tied to mythos, is it? Or is Ifrit still required? I don't know. Ultima manipulates his servants into pitting Clive against the other dominants that he might drink of their strength and bring mythos closer to perfection. Hidden truths. Didn't we... Turning men and beasts into merciless Akashic. All to sap the will of mankind and make all of humanity into his soulless servants. Yeah, it's weird. He said return them to Akashic. Is that, like, actually true? Were they all just wild beasts before? You have a name? We never heard this in game. An orphan girl who pays for her bread by making and selling medicines. Her travels took her from the Dalmekia to the Crystalline Dominion, where she nearly lost her life when the city was all but destroyed by Bahamut. After the flames died down, she labored to mend the wounds of the injured townspeople, eventually coming across a collapsed Prince Dion, who she nursed back to health. I wonder if she knows that was Prince Dion. Probably? I'm surprised they didn't, at least in the story, say, hey, my name is Kiel? Kiel? I don't know how you'd... You know. Clive evacuated him to the hideout. Finally awake, he escaped to the Dominion to survey the damage he had done, and collapsed from shock, awakening again to find himself in the care of a young girl. This was considered relevant topics. Does that mean Dion's gonna come back to us soon? Uh-oh, bestiary. What's left? Bestiary is almost full. Yeah, we already know. We already know of this. Chimeras were added to the list. That there might exist a creature so terrible, so twisted, that a tricephalic horror, as the tricephalic horror that is a chimera, is a striking reminder of the madness of whatever deity first whispered life into them. It is not enough that the winged demons are both astonishingly aggressive and adept in the manipulation of ether, but they are also able to wield their influence over other beasts, commanding them like a field marshal might his regulars. Fortunately, they are only rarely seen, and only deep in the deserts of Dalmekia. 1, 2, 3. What could be left? This better be a tomeberry or a cactar. Please? Please? And this better be Omega and Ultima. I don't know why. I just really want to fight Omega. You can't have a Final Fantasy without Omega, right? Not lately. I mean, obviously he wasn't in... Well, he was kind of in the first one. He didn't have the same name. I think it was just War Machine. Icons. Shattered aspects of Ultima's power given flesh by human hosts. It is the two Wardens of Fire, Phoenix and Ifrit, who together comprise his perfect form. Yep. The icons of the lesser elements serving as sacrifices to Mythos' altar in order to test and bolster the vessel's strength. Hold on. So Ultima's perfect form was the Phoenix and Ifrit combined? No, that can't be right. Ifrit Risen is Ultima? That's kind of how I understood that just now. The unbranded, yeah. We kind of got a good gist of that. Interesting. There's so much stuff in here. This episode, it's going to be 2 hours at this point anyways. I'm just stuck in the lore. Plus, we're about to do story in the next episode, so. They may have once had... Yep. Though most regard men who turn Akashic as not but mindless monsters, Barnabas and Sleipnir claim they are, in fact, divine. Somehow. Get extra entries on these. These things I'll read later. I'm just looking for stuff that like I'd be interested in like going over now. Quickly. The bonds of consciousness. He keeps bringing this up. The fellow feeling that binds a person with those who they love and who love them. You're gonna take forever if you're trying to kill everything that Clive loves and people that love Clive. I think that's the whole purpose of the whole point of doing all these side quests and like getting to know the characters is he's coming to meet a lot of people, and you know it's going to be a corny You can't sever every consciousness. It's impossible. He makes them as fast as they try to break them. Humans grip on their will. He casts Primogenesis in order to sever these bonds, that humanity might lose their wills and turn Akashic, and that his vessel might be perfected. So I guess people can't love him, because it says who love him. People can't love him if they've turned Akashic, but you can't turn him Akashic. That which separates humans from animals. Do you consider it as... Human will is a sickness that prevents them from taking their proper divine form, that of the Akashic, who blindly serve his own purpose. Gotcha. He's trying to recreate the world, though, so it's like... I don't know. Alright, that's all the ones I wanted there. Lay of the land. We'll read about the Undying later. I'm still upset that they didn't discuss the findings. They just left them there for me to cry about. I'm not upset, but you know what I mean. Shadow Coast. Forbidding cliffs that line the Naldiel Narrow on the ash side of the channel. Though viable ascents exist, their numbers are few and the paths narrow and perilous. That said, they have more than once been used as a staging ground for covert incursions into the kingdom. Now, the land above having been all but consumed by the blight, it is only the boldest of adventurers who dare set foot here. Adventurer. I'm talking too fast. Naldiel Narrow, I mean, we were just there. The Southern Isles? The gradual incursion of the blight destabilized and destroyed. Yeah, like I was wondering, they're not on the map. Or they are, but it's just all blight. Like, all right, Jill, you gave up your stuff. It was there that she entrusted her Eikon to him. Yep. That's definitely what that was going to be about. Tarja, I'm gonna wait on you. I'm sorry. Sleipnir. Can't believe his first name is Sleipnir and his last name is Harbord. The Lord Commander, despite apparent falling to Clive Rossfield's blade, outside Convarian Agora, he appeared again in the Ironworks, conjuring countless doubles of himself, proving Joshua's theory that the Constant Knight was no mere swordsman, but a magical creation. Don't understand how he can do that. Like how Odin can do that. Theodore, lost his life to his own blade after being taken by the Ether Flood, whilst trying to protect the haven he had built for bearers from a rampaging dragon, wishing his sister a long and happy life with his final breath. Poor guy. Okay, I want to know who you are. Only daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme. They might have said it in the cutscene. They might have. But I was so focused on the Urianger part of it that I was just not... I was like half there. Her opinion on the Duke's plan to fortify Northreach differs greatly from his. Somehow she's gonna get convinced to stop her own father then. Ultima requires a vessel in which to inculcate his disembodied soul. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense now that like Ultima's just kind of a ghost. He's floating around like, there's my body. It won't accept me though. I need it to be strong enough to accept me. Okay. Why do you even have an entry? There's got to be more significance than, oh, he can turn into Barnabas's mother. There's got to be some real significance.
The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Maybe Barnabas was that's actually Ultima's son. I don't know. He turned into his mother and gave birth to him. What a random thought. That's not going on the theory board. Don't worry. All right, 2 more things. Oh my god. Yeah, just make it 2 hours. We're good. Emblem of Martha's Rest. Actually, no. That's the same... That's the same thing as the description we had. Safe in the knowledge they have a friend in Martha. Isn't it? I think that's the same thing. Depicts a laden chocobo after the death of... Oh, no, yeah, never mind. They are different. Death of her brother and confidant, Theodore. Eloise chose to continue the work they had begun together, freeing bearers from slavery, just as she had freed him so many years before. There are so many memories to get still. What? Thanks again for helping get the dungeon in order. Had you not rowed gallantly to our rescue, I reckon poor Owain and them... Oh, this is because I did the Owain quest. Lot would still be stuck, stilling Blightwater over the Bonner. Over a Bonner? I don't know what you're saying. There's always room for improvement, though, so don't get your knickers in a knot should I come a-knocking at your chamber door, looking for more spheres and ash and whatnot. Make sure you only knock. What happened in Eastpool with the Bears and the Guardians has been a long time coming, and I'm proud that it could finally happen here in Rosaria. The Duchy of Old may be no more, but Archduke Elwyn's dream still burns in the hearts of many, and it is through victories such as these that the fire will spread. This is only the beginning, Clive, but a fine beginning it is. Uh-oh, I'm losing the ability to speak. Must end. It is hard to believe Theo is gone. Every morning I wake, I expect him to be there in the stables, watering the birds or readying the packs. Yet he is not, and it is everything I can do not to fall to my knees and weep. Still, I know I have to move on, but that doesn't mean I have to forget. My brother and I built all we have here together, so as long as I still have the caravans, he will ever be with me, and I shall honor him in death by carrying on what he strove for in life. That is what I choose. Awesome. Yeah, that was a good quest. I'm still thinking. Probably at the end of like the whole playthrough, I'll do a review, and then I'll do like top favorite moments, top favorite quests, do a few things at the end, who knows, because there's a lot I'd want to discuss about this game. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. I'm completely dehydrated. I'm exhausted, and we're going to continue the story for sure in the next one. No distractions. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you like it, and I will see you in the next one.